Hi, this is Jeanette Arsenault, and I'm happy to be here with Jeremy and Joshua for The Other Side Media live on 91X FM.
The Other Side Media Group and 91X now present The Other Side Radio Show, a program about people who make a difference from all walks of life in Quinte and beyond. And now here are your hosts, Jeremy and Joshua Davis.
Hi, and welcome to The Other Side Live. I'm Jeremy T. Davis. I'm joined with Jeanette Arsenault on the program. Welcome back. It's great to have you here today.
Well, thank you so much. It's so nice to see you. And you picked a nice spot, and you picked the right time of day. It's a nice cool breeze here today. I appreciate you wanting to chat again. I've missed you guys.
Well, thank you. The pleasure is mine tonight. Josh wanted to be here, but he couldn't be here tonight. But we will catch up all together next time. Now, Jeanette, if I can first start out by asking you, can you tell us a little bit about your latest venture in giving back to the community, in this case, Belleville, Ontario? You always give back, but you've got a brand new position this year. Tell us about it, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Happy to share with you what my new gig is. That's quite different for me. In many ways, I was asked to coordinate Canada Day at Westwicks Park this year for the city of Belleville. The Belleville Chamber of Commerce are the ones who got the contract, and so they've hired me to try and put this all together, and I'll be telling you all about the lineup shortly, I guess. And then there's also the Waterfront Festival 10 days later, so I must say things are a tad busy, shall we say?
Well, we can only imagine that. And we were talking before we went to air, not only today, but when we've seen you out at many great events around town and beyond. And we were saying, maybe not to that magnitude, but Joshua and I remember all the effort that goes into, doing outdoor community events. And then when you add the fact that you're talking about the legacy events like the Belleville Waterfront and Ethnic Festival, I believe that is the title this year. You can fill me in. It's the same festival. It's went through different incarnations since it was originally formed in the original format before it was even at the park. Now this was in the year
46
so this was 46 years ago in 1978, a special year. Anyway, I was almost going to give something away, but I won't. Anyway, when it originally was formed, it was done in a way of a passport program, and it was founded by the former councillor Selma Botnick and our friend and late community member involved in a lot, Peter Zagoras, the late brother of the former mayor, George A. Zagoras. So, and since then, it has taken on such a life in many different formats. In the early 80s, it was then changed from the passport program, if you will, with the different ethnic groups and the Ethnic Council for the foods and culture. It was moved to the Waterfront. The first one, I believe, was in 1984. They had the first one at Myers Pier. It was after the construction of the marina. And so, but since then it's, grown and changed. So maybe you can just add to that, and we'll go from there. Also, I should just quickly say, it's since the Belleville Chamber of Commerce has taken the helm, and all the people and great people like yourself and Jill and Josh and I are proud to be members. The Waterfront Festival is one of the award-winning top festivals in all of the province. And so tell us a little more from your perspective, and we'll go from there.
What I want to say is thank God you were so long-winded, because I'm so new to the position. I've only been here 10 weeks now. And you just taught me a lot about the festival that I had not heard yet. Go back to that far in the history. So I appreciate that. The Chamber has been running it for several years now, and Susan Walsh was the one who was, the people remember the most. So I have big shoes to fill with following behind Susan. But there have been many attempts to try and integrate as many community members, as possible. But there have been some founding members, like the Quinty Polonia group. They were one of the founding members, with a few other countries as well. And they started it as the Ethnic Festival. And now it's officially called the Belleville Waterfront Multicultural Festival.
And I think in part that name was to reflect the diversity. It's been hard for a lot of communities and a lot of long-standing festivals. Not that there wasn't the community support, but we had a little thing called the pandemic, and it changed everything for a while. So everything we're building it back in leaps and bounds, and not everything stays the same, but it's rooted in tradition, and I might add it just gets better. Would you agree or not?
Well, I can agree as to what we've seen up until now, but it would be presumptuous of me to say it's going to get better this year. Nice layup there, my friend. I can only hope to try and do as well as the people who have gone before me. There have been some wonderful ideas and wonderful activities that they've done over the years. So I was able to look through to see what they had before and come up with what we're doing this year. One of the focuses that we're going to do on Friday is kind of nostalgia waterfront, trying to get people to remember what it was like back in the day. And even the music selection is going to reflect waterfront of days gone by.
Well, that's so interesting. A little, without ruining your exclusive information that, the other stations will have it too, but we're doing the whole program on it today. So without ruining that, a little birdie told me that we're going to have there's so much, but there's also going to be great focus on our amazing local, homegrown talent, those unsung heroes, if you will. And I'm sure my brother and my family would say that. And I was just so happy to hear that, because one of the things that Joshua and I have always tried to do, whether it's through this radio program or any of our projects or special events, is find a way to include a showcase. Everything is building and evolving back since the pandemic. And so to hear that one of our long-standing festivals, or two of, if I may say this loosely, some people may not agree with me, but I could say our two long-standing festival type events, because I know one is for a national holiday and our birthday, but Canada Day, there's so many festivities, so you could loosely say that as well. So to encompass as much special live local entertainment for a showcase, it's just amazing. So you might want to fill us in on that, and then we'll go from there.
I'm glad that you said that, because that was something that was part of close to my heart, is to include as many local performers as we can. They've tried many ways of presenting Waterfront because it's nice too to bring in artists that you don't get to normally see. But this year the Waterfront theme on the Friday is going to be a nostalgic Waterfront. And Waterfront from previous years and from the decades and everything. And we have different styles and different bands, different styles of music, hopefully, that will, be pleasing to many people. So, for instance, on the Friday, we've got, actually it starts on the Thursday, right? It starts on July the 11th. And we've got a special ceremony planned with Jonathan Miracle and the Blessing of the Land. And there's going to be some wonderful participation with the Tyendinaga and our Indigenous community, which I'm thrilled that they want to participate for that. And then at that night, that's a Thursday night, we've got a dance with a DJ for teens. So we thought we got to give them something, their own time. They'll go off to the Midway. Midway's back. We got to tell everybody that too.
World's finest.
World's finest. They're back. And and we're going to have a special price for teens to be able to try something from different countries around the world, And during the afternoon, we're going to have, I guess they're calling it the Decades of Waterfront. We've got the Commodores Orchestra.
And that's on the Thursday.
I'm sorry, I'm up to Friday now.
Friday.
I already skipped ahead. But we are on Friday then. We're going to feature the Commodores Orchestra, who have performed there before in the past. Then it's the Brian Leger Blues Project, so a little bit of jazz and blues. And then it's the Dan Scher Dance Band. So you'll have a whole variety of music to be able to listen to. And finally at night, it's going to be Ed's Garage with special guests. So I think we've pretty well touched on most of the musical tastes that have happened over the years in the park.
Well, I'm getting my dancing shoes on. I'm getting ready to invite everyone down I can think of. One of the amazing things about these events, whether we're talking, now first up is Canada Day, and we'll take some time and talk about it too, but between Canada Day and the Waterfront and everything else that happens in our beautiful city right here on the beautiful Bay of Quinte is, I'll say most because there is some through, and you'll see on Bay of Quinte, their website and that for the tourism. But these festivals in particular, these events are free. They're free family fun events, free events for all ages. And, something of this caliber and that where you can just go in a good, safe, welcoming, beautiful environment without a ticket price, there's nothing else like it. So maybe you just want to add a little to that, and then we'll go from there. And this is all thanks to our sponsors. Without the sponsors, we couldn't do, or the Chamber couldn't do what they do, or anyone for that matter. So let's support local. Keep it happening so these businesses can step up and we can have enjoyment for all.
Well said. Boy, I need to get you on my media tour. You've got it exactly right. We do have some wonderful sponsors who have stepped up once again, like Red Path. They were here before, and they're back this year. And Loyalist College is stepped up as well, and 5 Lexicon and P&G. So some of our major sponsors who are making the fun happen at Zwick's Park. And I think we're at the 46th year, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned when the 50th finally arrives. And it's going to be another fun-filled weekend with stuff starting on Thursday night, going right through until Sunday. The Saturday this year is the big multicultural day. So the Saturday is when we have the sounds of Mexico, the sounds of the Philippines, the sounds of South America, the sounds of the Caribbean, and the sounds of India. We have our Parade of Nations is back, which everybody seems to enjoy walking through the park. And the Nema Children's Choir are back, the Hastings County Concert Band. So it's a mix of international and local as well.
I had to ask something, and we've been friends and will remain friends forever, like our entire family, and we're so blessed. Jeanette, I take it that you haven't been sleeping. You know, I don't know where you find all the energy. I know you have a great dynamic team down there at the Belleville Chamber, led by Joe Raycroft, our great friend, and she's a great CAO. Or CEO, CEO, and wherever the other side media can help out, even though we're a nonprofit, we will. Things have been busy both personally and professionally this year, so we can look towards the future, and we do. But our hats are off to you and everyone. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, as we're doing this interview live on the patio today, and thinking, you know, I can only imagine when this first came about and came to council about the Waterfront festival, or the multicultural festival idea, even though it was a slightly different name. No one could have imagined its success, and nobody would have imagined that it would stay going this long and just get stronger. You know, there's a lot of great festivals across this province and country, but there is a lot that we used to go to that just doesn't happen anymore. And that's a testament to the commitment of the great volunteers, the sponsors, the community, and everyone at large. We're one big, I like to say one big extended family. And this is what brings it together. And I hope events like this help us to recognize our diversity, promote better inclusion for all, you know, that includes all. You know, what's important to reinforce is our diversity is what makes us who we are as Canadians. It's a part of the fabric of our community. We're living in a time where sometimes, oftentimes you'll hear about different challenges faced by individuals, and it's just nice to have events such as Canada Day, the way we do it, our festival way of doing it, and then followed up by the renowned Waterfront that just showcases the best and the best that we all are.
I think you covered so much that is important to the fabric of Belleville and the fabric of this festival as well. One of the things that I've noticed is the number of countries being represented, you know. When it first started out, there were a handful of, let's say, founding countries, but now we're looking at the Caribbean, China, India, Italy, Mexico, the Philippines, Poland, Syria, Thailand, Tibet. And we've also got some of the pop-ups on the bay that include Greece and Haiti. And it's so wonderful. We have so many groups participating this year of different nationalities. On Sunday, we're going to have the Sounds of Italy, the Sounds of Paris, and we're also going to have the Sounds of Ireland and Scotland. So we have a wide array of countries that are going to be represented through food or performance or through being vendors, you know. So that's all happening July 11th to July the 14th. And the World's Finest is back, of course. And some people might be interested to know that we have a Daft's Wandering Bar. So there will be a licensed area for those who like to have maybe a beer and listen to the music or something. So we will be having that. And if I could just mention some of the activities that are going to be there, like the rock climbing wall is coming back. Build a fort, a dog training. You can bring your dog and get some tips from the dog trainer in the Glanmore Museum. is going to be bringing some old-fashioned games, which will be fun. Family Space are going to have a kids zone and POQ kids zone and a hoop zone and a circus zone, and we're going to have Alphorn from the Switzerland, those big long horns that play. They're going to be there as well. We've got the giraffe family is coming back. The ostrich is coming back. They were in great demand. The tall big beat drummers and the stilt walkers, and a lot of things. This is what we want to touch upon. A lot of things for families of all ages to enjoy.
Jeanette, I was just wondering, perhaps this would have to be another year, but there's so much to see and do, and I don't want to miss a minute of it, regardless of if it's starting at Canada Day events, which we'll touch on that, and then the Waterfront. Can I just camp out and stay there? I don't want to miss a second of it. I don't think we could do it this time, but maybe in the future we can look at something like that. I don't know. I'm just joking right now, but.
No, I know. There are a lot of people who probably would like to camp out there, and if we could, we would. The only other thing I didn't mention was the Jalgua Peace Pavilion is going to be back, and a lot of people really enjoyed the quiet. So there will be a place to find some quiet during the Waterfront Festival as well.
So just quickly, as I said, it's all free.
Yep,
it's at $5 parking, and that goes to the charities. And so where else can you go for that? Yeah, you know, and help a great cause at the same time. There'll be the free shuttle bus. Now, where's the shuttle running from? From Quinte Mall to the bus terminal and to Swix and back. And a continuous circuit of that. Okay, that's great. And so, yes, but before we get to the Waterfront, we've got to back up here. We have Canada's birthday. I remember for many, many years, we're there every year with the family, and for many years, one of the committees I was on, I'm on different committees of council, and I look forward to doing more in the future. But we had the Heritage Belleville displays all the time at Canada Day. Right now, I'm on Glanmore and some other committees this term, so it's different, but it's very important. But just tell us what to expect for July the 1st, and then we'll go from there. And if we have some time, in honor of Canada's birthday, we want to showcase some of a beautiful song that we love called This Is My Canada at the end. So stay tuned.
Aw, thank you. I'll tell you a little bit about what the plans are for Canada Day. The Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast is back by great demand. So that'll be in the Tom Gavey, the building with the red roof. Yeah. And we have a young singer, Isabel Roberts, is going to be there. Who'll be singing while people are having their breakfast, which I thought was nice to be able to involve the youth as well. So everything starts at noon. We're going to have a bike rodeo that the police, Belleville Police, are going to be putting on. Bring your bikes for kids, and they get some tips and some safety tips from the police, which will be a lot of fun. We have bouncy castles are back, including the mechanical bull and some slides.
Are you going to try the bull?
Am I going to try? I have tried it before. It's not easy.
My sister did.
Did she? Yeah. And we're having some bubble blowing fun, and we're having live art creation with Chris Bennett. I think a lot of people know him by now. He's painted a lot of the pop-ups. Yeah. The pop-ups are going to be there as well, and we have some other food coming in. So there'll be a lot of food choices too. We have, of course, face painting for both festivals and balloon twisting. You can't have a festival without face painting and balloon twisting, right? And the Belleville Senator's Belly is going to come along and say hello on Canada Day as well and wander around. We have a hula hoop zone for the little kids. We have a hot diggity dog show again this year. Just to mention the Classic Championship Wrestling and stilt walkers and buskers again.
Oh,
and
the wrestling was so popular.
They're coming back. So for the music, we did something a little different this year. We've invited the Young Kids Got Talent winner. Her name is Willow Foley. She's going to sing "O Canada," so that'll be a nice part of the program. The Quinte Ballet School are going to do some jazz stuff just before the opening ceremonies. And we're going to start with, it's a house band in the sense that we tried to involve as many artists around the Quinte area as we could. So the first set will be the Canadian roots, and it's going to be folk music, Celtic music, fiddleheads. 2 of their members are going to be in it. So it's going to be fun for the roots folk type of fans that we have, followed by the Garvin brothers. Now the Garvin brothers won Kids Got Talent last year, and they're opening for Glorious Sons this year. So we're hoping that the young people would like to come out and see the Garvin brothers for free on Canada Day at West Wicks Park. And finally, the last band is going to be called Canada Rocks, and it's Dan Scher's band, and he's doing with all the brass instruments and a harder edge to kind of a salute to Canada, a whole day saluting Canadian music. Finished off by Dance Till Dusk with DJ Midnight down at the main entrance. And not only that, as soon as the music is over, the fireworks are going to come up, and it's going to be the best viewing for the fireworks in West Wicks.
Well, all I can say is mark your calendars and get your butt down there for the best celebrations in the entire Quinte region. And I'm not biased. You're not paying me to say that. That's the God's honest truth. So this has been a sheer delight to have you on the program today. I can remember when I had the distinct pleasure when the city used to have this separate committee for Canada Day. And so I was involved that way. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, so I just know how exciting it can be. I also know how, challenging and how much energy goes into it. So I commend you. I commend the whole team. So God bless you, and thank you, and we look forward to you coming back on the show again real soon and telling us your next projects.
Thank you so much, and I so admire you and your brother and your family for all that you do for our community, and we are grateful, and certainly I hope that you're going to be able to make it out to Canada and come celebrate living in the best country in the world.
Tell us the website and we'll go from there for both events.
DiscoverBelleville.ca will have references to both. You can follow us on Facebook at Discover Belleville, and it also has an events page for both festivals. And same with Instagram. And then the Belleville also has its own Belleville Waterfront Festival.ca. So you can get all the information is up online now. Thank you so much. It's always a joy to be chatting with you.
Thank you, and let's end the show out on a high note. This is My Canada with our friend Jeanette Arsenault. So take it away. We'll see you next week on The Other Side Live, and see you at Canada Day and the Belleville Waterfront and Multicultural Festival. I'm Jeremy T. Davis. Bye for now. God bless.
Rocks and plains and visions of trains from sea to sea. Lakes and streams and passionate dreams of a true north, strong and free. Mountains of snow, the forest below, hopes and fears. Frozen lands in the rugged hands of Canadian pioneers. This is my Canada. This is my home, my nation. From St. John's to Victoria, this is my Canada. This is my Canada, Canada, Canada. Torrent d'eau fraîche, dunes de sable, village côtier. Gens de cœur, gens d'espoir et ancêtres dévoués. Nos voyageurs, coureurs de bois et casques bleus. Nos écrivains, nos poètes, nos enfants merveilleux. C'est mon cher Canada, mon pays more than one link to make a chain. Pays de beauté, pays de merveille, tous ces gens sont pareils, c'est un monde partagé, ensemble dans l'amitié. This is my Canada, this is my home, my nation, this St. John's à Victoria, c'est mon cher Canada, mon cher Canada, Canada, oh Canada, this is my Canada, Canada.
The Other Side Radio Show is a production of the Other Side Media Group in association with 91X. You can connect on Facebook at the Other Side Media Group, Instagram at Jeremy Tyler Davis, or on YouTube at Jeremy T. Davis, Belleville, Ontario for on-demand episodes and more. Tune in next week for another episode of the Other Side Radio Show.